Five, four, three, two, one.
Okay, hello, willkommen, bienvenue, konnichiwa, ni hao jambo. Don't know what happened there.
Love it.
Welcome to another Amish Inquisition CFR Network SwapCast on Sunday the 9th of August 2022. I'm Amish Phil.
I'm Amish Ben.
And I'm Amish Matt.
The dwarf, the cripple, and the mother of madness.
Oh, we've got Noble with us from CFR Network. How we doing, Noble?
Good night, all. How art thou?
Yeah, good, man.
Good.
Good to hear from you again.
Indeed, it's been such a long time, but at the same time, time is moving so rapidly and so fast. It feels like it was yesterday.
Exactly. And you're able to join us from the Caribbean this evening as well.
Yeah, I had to get the download. I mean, you had it in the last part of the, the intro. Children of the.
I knew you'd appreciate that.
Classical, man.
Pinnacle TV, that wasn't it? Really?
Do you know, I just wanted to be Esteban and just explore.
Disappear.
To explore South America and hopefully defeat Mendoza and find the cities of gold. That was my dream as a child.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't forget the Golden Condor.
I know. It's magical. Magical TV and no programming whatsoever for the young minds. Because that doesn't exist.
Well, look at the technology that there was unearthing. A Golden Condor, which was powered by the solar energy.
Yeah, man. Was that? Do you think the creators of Cities of Gold were like Ignatius Donnelly idols or something? They're trying to put some ancient Atlantean tech into kids' TV.
Exactly. I think back then it was a lot more. There was a lot more creative license in regards to the agenda or the idea that was to be permeated amongst the youth. And that was a time of exploration, of, potentially challenging what you were taught at school in little ways and allowing your imagination to flourish. Whereas today, it's the total opposite.
Yeah, I find a lot of the Japanese cartoons are popular with the kids these days.
Yeah.
Pokemon and Bakugan and Dragon Ball.
Z.
Dragon Ball Z?
Is that what it is?
Sure it is, yeah. Yeah, I don't know where that's come from.
Japan?
I think.
Oh, yes. Japan.
Yeah, that would be a hint. A hint to the wise should be more than sufficient. I would say the style of the drawings, of the actual animation, the illustrators, two separate worlds.
I'm trying to think when we were growing up whether there was any Japanese.
Yeah,
Jason.
Akira came out in 1984,
yeah.
I think. That was Ace with the motorbike, and no one remember that?
No.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
Jason and the Wheel Warriors. Was that Japanese, do you think?
had to be.
I don't
No?
think so.
No.
I don't think it had that Japanese style.
No.
If I was going to guess, I would say it was Canadian.
Oh shit!
I think most of the best kids' cartoons were Canadian.
Really? That's a big shout.
Well, look what I'm wearing, man.
Is the raccoons Canadian then?
The raccoons, that was Canadian, yeah?
Yeah, I used to like the raccoons.
Ulysses.
Ulysses.
Yes, I do have that T-shirt as well.
I don't know that one.
Ulysses, soaring through all the galaxies in search of them, flying into the night.
And here comes no.
No, that was his little robot friend, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Can't remember that one at all.
No.
Little red no.
Yeah. What was your favourite 80s cartoon, Noble?
There's not a favorite. There cannot be a favorite. Yeah, pretty much everything that we have sort of divulged is a snapshot, because we could go to Button Moon, we could go to, like, that's real old school days. We could go Rainbow, Little Poppet Man.
Yeah.
What, Grub Bags? Remember Grub Bags? And,
Scary.
Scary as hell. You know what used to scare the hell out of me? The Moomins.
Moomins was freaky, man.
The Moomins used to scare not so much the Moomin characters themselves. It was the evil witch people. I can't remember what the hell they were called, but they just
I think there was I think there was a lot of trippiness as well. That was still a hangover from like the 70s, maybe, that went on in the 80s. Because with the Moomins, that I found, I don't know, that always seemed a bit sort of dreamlike. The kind of weirdness. They were weird, the Moomins.
Dreamlike?
It was dreamlike, yeah.
I've got one from left field. You might not remember this. Now, this might be late 80s, early 90s, but there was a cartoon, I think it was ITV, and it was called The Dreamstone.
Okay, yes, I do.
And it was a soundtrack by a guy called Mike Batt, who's a very famous composer. And it had like a classical soundtrack, and it would make me weep. It was so beautiful. And I had the tape, because this is, when we had Walkmans rather than mini discs. And on there was a proper soundtrack, and one of the tracks had Billy Connolly, Lenny Henry, Frank Bruno.
Okay.
Frank Bruno sung on it.
Wow.
Gary Glitter, but we won't say more about that.
Whoa.
Yeah, there was like some legends on the old soundtrack.
Have you still got the cassette?
No, I don't think I have. No, I think
someone's borrowed it and forgot to give you back that old chestnut.
it was probably played to death and just warped.
Yeah.
Like my mind.
Pencil in it.
Yeah. Oh, our halcyon days. Sometimes I think it's quite comforting to look back with nostalgia when we see the impending snowballing shitstorm approaching us.
Oh, what we made 3 minutes, was it?
That, Ben, is what you call a segue.
That's an excellent segue. It most definitely was, because, as you say, the more and more we experience this current realm in the Gregorian year of 2022, the more it's like, I want to be 7 years old again. I don't want to be in this place where we are right now. I mean, it's cool as an adult to a point, because we were able to see and hear and try to, navigate the best that we can. So we're kind of, sort of surfing the wave of sorts. But things were so simple back then. So simple.
Well, yes, coming out of like the back end of the Cold War, I would imagine there was quite a sense of optimism there in 1989, 1990, that sort of era.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And things have gone backwards, it seems to me. I mean, and when the president's coming out and using words like apocalypse, that's, and we're not talking about apocalypse, Matt, in the chat. That's, it's quite disturbing. It's quite worrying how fucking nuts these people are who are running the show.
Yeah, man.
And it's like, I was listening, I don't know if you've heard it, but Roger Waters was on the Joe Rogan Experience this week. I don't normally listen to Rogan, but I thought I'll listen to Rogers because he's rather the contrarian. And he was talking about, the World Economic Forum and stuff. And he made the point, it's like no one is talking about peace in Eastern Europe. It's just the Americans want to sell them the weapons for the military-industrial complex, and Zelensky's not interested in any form of compromise from the message, from what we hear in the West, and obviously our media is heavily filtrated.
Indeed.
Putin is not going to back down. It doesn't seem. It just looks quite perilous to me.
Yeah.
It really does. And it's a 50-50 one, in my humble opinion. This could be a wag the dog or wag the tail, whatever the hell that film's called. Or indeed, we are in some serious potential issues.
What did you make of that Nord Stream sabotage?
Oh, God. Well, I'm pretty sure you watch the old Alex Jones from time to time.
Black helicopters, FEMA camps.
Yeah.
The one show.
Yeah, the one show.
I watched the one
That's
show.
it.
That's what you're on about, right?
With the beautiful Alex Jones, the young
Absolutely.
lady. Yes, indeed. Yeah. It tripped me out the first time I saw her. I was like, Alex Jones.
I've not. Well, you'll have to update me. I've not watched. I don't watch InfoWars or Alex Jones, so you'll have to tell me what he said about it.
Okay, so well, it's not so much what he said. He basically and his team put together a little montage of all of this happening. Them saying, "Oh well, if Putin does any kind of crazy stuff, I assure you that Nord Stream is not going to be anymore." And then the press were like, "Oh well, could you elaborate?" I mean, like Germany's got control of that end in essence. I mean, how will you do that? Well, we're gonna do it. Don't worry about it.
Take my word for it. We played the clip. Was it
Yeah,
last
yes,
week?
Last week, yeah.
Are you talking about the Biden clip?
The
Yes.
one from February, I think
Yeah.
it was. It was before
February.
the invasion. It was February the 7th or something like that, where he said, we'll put an end to Nord Stream. Yeah, I mean, the thing that I was saying last week is that I thought it was almost too obvious that it was the US.
Of course, but it's the hypnotic trance that the mass populi are under is so deep. They could see a live execution on television, and they could just put something over the top. Oh, this is just an advertisement. We're advertising this new gun. That's it. You know, and a spill kit maybe.
I do wonder, because I meet lots of people all the time, and but it's sort of, it's not in like a social aspect, so
Yes.
you do wonder how much people are just sort of completely tuned out to what's going on, and just filling their heads with whatever, you know, entertainment stuff, or sports, whatever.
That's nice.
That'd be you, yeah. She-Hulk.
Oh God! I tried.
Yeah, man.
I did try. I tried 3 episodes, and I was
Did you?
like,
You got
It-
through 3?
I got through 3. I was bored. I couldn't. I just wanted. I need to take a break from studying and researching. I need to watch some mindless stuff. So I thought
She-Hulk.
Yeah, She-Hulk. And the propaganda is real, isn't it?
It's good.
I don't know what's going on in that one.
No, me and Matt, we haven't watched any of it, I don't think, have we?
I can't watch
You
any more
did-
Marvel
no.
stuff. It's just awful at the moment. All of it. All of
It's
it.
feminism. It's
All right, so
the
you hate
Hulk.
women, do you?
I absolutely adore women, but and I've noticed, and it was slyly done. It was very slyly done, and the wonders of these wicked magicians throughout the popular media and movies and stuff. We started to get films like Salt with Angela Jolie, who
Yeah.
weighs about 90 pounds and is getting pummeled and beaten and
I thought that was a
all
good
kind
film.
of stuff. It was a very good film, but it's so unrealistic. A woman cannot take that kind of punishment, gentlemen. No woman can be beaten up, can be cut open and all kind of stuff, and she's gonna come back. She's gonna jump in the air and do some stuff and get the armed guy and get a knife and put it through his chin and all. No.
I mean, it's
You
one
have to be
thing
highly
if it's
trained.
if it's like Ronda Rousey or the girl from Mandalorian, the other the MMA.
Wrestler.
Yes.
Woman.
I can't remember. I'm blanking on her name
No,
now.
I can't remember what she's called.
Gina
Carano.
Yeah.
Would you not
That's
say
it.
though that like Tom Cruise hanging from the side of a plane is equally as unrealistic in a film?
Of course, but he's still a man, though, isn't he? He's a man, not a woman, and physiologically, and people get a bit weird when I take this stance. physiologically, unless a woman is bigger than a man and has been working out and stuff, there is no competition.
No.
There's a lot of women bigger than Tom Cruise, though.
Yeah, I think
yes.
what we're getting at is, I've noticed it in films, is female protagonists twatting a row of 250-pound blokes.
Yeah.
And in throwing them through windows and stuff. And it's what's the word? It dissolves the you call it where you're in the experience.
VR?
The film. It takes you out of the film.
Yeah.
You know, because you just think, how on earth has she done that? Is she a robot?
Is she a 7-foot mutant Hulk?
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
I don't know. I've just seen the reviews, and most of the reviews I've seen have said it's not worth watching, so I didn't bother. But I haven't watched any of the Marvel series. None of them. I haven't watched them. They don't appeal to me.
Daredevil's in the latest episode of She-Hulk, incidentally.
Does he get cooked?
He doesn't get cooked.
Cooked,
not cooked as in a meal, but cooked.
Like on a barbecue.
No, I mean as in cuckolded.
Yeah.
No.
Does she not shag him?
She does.
Oh, all right.
Forcefully.
You've watched Bench. You've watched it all then.
Absolutely, every episode. Yeah. I mean, I'm enjoying it, but you know.
Okay. A bit of mindless entertainment never harms the mind, I guess.
Fine.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Let's highlight the main thing. I think it was in the first or second episode where they were saying, in essence, or they were showing and proving that She-Hulk is far superior to the Hulk.
Oh yeah. She picks it up pretty quick. Yeah. Second episode, and he's like, "Oh, this took me ages to control it, but all right." Like you say, it's mindless entertainment. It's fine. That's what it's there for.
It is mindless, but there is messaging that's slipped in it. It's threaded through most TV shows.
Don't mess with
Same
gamma
with,
rays.
Same with the Lord of the Rings thing. You know, you can't have a man beat up a woman.
One does not simply walk into Mordor.
No, and one, Galadriel has to be like the pinnacle of. Why is she the commander of the Northern Armies all of a sudden?
Was she
and all this? She's a freaking magician or something shit, isn't she? She's all ethereal and feminine. But we can't have that, not in this day and age.
Yeah,
how do you feel about Paul Daniels?
R.I.P.
The magician, the little guy.
Yeah.
He's cool, man. He
He's
grew
cool.
up on that.
Do you remember Whizbit, the triangle character?
Oh god, that was dope. Now that was a bit scary as well. You gotta admit, guys.
Yeah, he was.
That was
terrifying.
trippy. Yeah. And what about his gold digging wife?
Debbie McGee.
Debbie McGee?
Yeah. She was a bit naughty, she was, man. I thought they were a real cool couple they were. And obviously I know behind the scenes he might be a very different person, but how they broke up from recollection, it was a bit messy, and she didn't come across the best to me.
She's head of
I didn't know they broke up.
I thought they were married when he died, I thought.
No, you can unless I've got my wires crossed.
Someone fact check that.
Yeah, man. This was the fact checker, man.
Fake
Get me on
news.
Instagram. I just made this whole thing up. Didn't they get divorced? And or was it?
I think
was it someone else? Then
I don't know.
no,
he's been divorced.
I think he's probably been divorced, but I think he's been divorced. But I don't think Debbie McGee was perhaps his first wife.
Maybe it's the first wife I'm talking. I'm searching as we speak.
He's old. He was older than her, wasn't he? Significantly older, I think.
Yeah, she was his glamorous assistant. Right? In the early days.
Yes, the glamorous assistant line.
She's president of the Magic Circle now.
Is she?
Yeah.
Is she actually a magician?
She knows the secrets. Excuse me.
Does she have a magic circle?
I don't know. Probably.
I used to drive past a Magic Circle meeting house in Blackpool.
Okay.
Is that not like
Sorry.
Yeah.
So apologies, everybody.
Yeah.
It was his first wife.
There we
not
go.
the second one.
There we go. Take it all back about Debbie McGee.
Yeah, Debbie, I'm sorry, Debbie. If you hear this, apologies. 1,000 apologies.
She will do.
Thanks for that, Noble. They've just emptied our PayPal account for that. Did you see that story this week with the PayPal thing blowing up?
No?
Well, PayPal. Not the PayPal blow up, the PayPal blow up. So a couple of weeks ago, PayPal got in controversy because they closed the account of the Free Speech Union. And Toby Young, who started the Free Speech Union, they closed his personal account as well because they didn't like what the Free Speech Union stands for, obviously, free speech. Yeah. So there was a big hoo-ha on Twitter, and they reinstated the accounts. And that was maybe 2 weeks ago. And then... Wikipedia says Paul Daniels slept with 300 women at the same time.
Yeah. Well, it does less. Now.
Yeah, this is Sparta! So, anyway, back to PayPal. So, this week, it turns out that PayPal are changing the terms of I think it's called the UAE, the User Agreement, whatever. And from the 2nd of November, if you... on any of your platforms spread misinformation or what PayPal deems to be misinformation, they will remove up to $2,500 for your account per infringement.
Wait a minute. That doesn't sound legal or lawful.
Private company, and do whatever they want.
Just don't keep it in your PayPal account. Shift it out periodically into your gold reserves. The only way around it.
Yeah.
So,
oh look, he's got some stuff.
We'll go. I was reading a what's it about it, an article. Everyone kicked off Elon Musk, and here's the headline: "Get your money out right now." Elon Musk and PayPal mafia lead insanity backlash against shock blunder. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, they've basically done a huge U-turn, PayPal. Right. And said, it was a mistake. We didn't mean to put that text in our updated user agreement. So the company, after helping to jumpstart last year's huge crypto bull run with its support for Bitcoin and a handful of other cryptocurrencies, has scrapped a policy change that would have seen users fined up to $2,500 for spreading what it called misinformation, claiming the update had gone out in error. Usual shit. Yeah.
Wishful thinking.
And it just was, when I heard the story, I just thought, and people are just sleeping on central bank digital currencies. What do you think's going to happen when the government has that sort of power and all your money's digital?
Well, yeah,
I don't think people are even considering that. Phil.
No, they're sleepwalking into it. It's madness.
Yeah, you can see it, can't you? That it would be like if you're fined or whatever, you'll just come straight out of your account. If it's if the whole currency goes digital, so like you get a parking ticket. If it's run by local government, they'll just take it from your account. Or if you get a county court judgment or whatever, it'll just be taken from your account.
That's if you post something on Twitter that's deemed hateful or something.
Yeah, get fined for that.
Penalty notice.
Yeah. You have been fined.
It's Demolition Man. Everything goes back to Demolition Man. It's such a great film and so scary watching it now because they were bang on with a lot of the stuff.
I tried to watch it. I was a little bit drunk, but in late one night, and I had to turn it off after 20 minutes because it was too much. Just thinking, no, this is coming true.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, it goes a step further if you think about it. And as you say, people are sleepwalking. So the idea would be, or the example, or the carrot is, you've seen all the happenings. The pound's gone down to the lowest it's gone, etc., etc. There's this thing that's been bubbling around, blockchains, and there's Bitcoin and all this stuff. We're going to utilize blockchain technology. And we're going to remove all physical currency by a certain period. And once all of that's gone and you can show that, we're going to issue double the amount in these credits. So if you spent your 15K, we're going to give you 45,000 in our new UK backed, whatever the hell they'll call it. Oh, great. That sounds like a good idea. Let's quickly get rid of all this money. Whoa, great. Look at this new app. I've downloaded it. And now look, we had 50K before, and now we've got 120 credits. Wow. Yeah, okay. And then 3 weeks later, we get something saying, okay, we've had some kind of incident taking place and you're not to leave your home unless it's an emergency. And then if you do leave your home outside of a certain radius and just say try and fill up your vehicle, it will say you're outside of your zone, deny payment, deny payments. So the control aspect of it is going to be humongous.
Yeah, but I mean, we can trust them, can't we?
You know what? I should slap myself. Yeah, I don't know. I just went on a tangent then. Yeah, totally. Because why would they do it, Phil, Matt, Ben? I mean, why would they do something so nefarious? It's all to help the sheeple, right? The people.
Yeah, I mean, a lot. You know, I think we've talked about this, haven't we, in terms of, I think, Agenda 2030 or whatever it's called, and the Green Agenda and sort of like the 5-minute city and things. When you sort of, without, I suppose, thinking more in depth about it, it sounds quite appealing, doesn't it? To sort of, live in a certain thing. You can walk down to your shop, and then you can go to work, and it's all within sort of 5 minutes or whatever. You don't need to have a car, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But then it becomes something about control, doesn't it? In terms of like a technocratic society, I guess, where everything's guided by computers and computer systems rather than, free will, essentially.
And then when you want to, draw some money out of something, computer says no.
Well, exactly, yeah. So, but that's the other side of it, isn't it? The first bit, potentially is, I suppose, is it called the line? Is that in Qatar, the line, and the other one in Saudi?
Yes.
Neom's the one in Saudi, I think.
Right. So, all this kind of futuristic, millions of people are just going to live in this long line, and then the rest of the desert can just be the desert.
It's going to be zero carbon, remember? Come on.
Yeah, that as well.
Yeah, but that includes you. You're a carbon-based life form who exhales carbon dioxide. So zero carbon means you got to die. The best Neom is the one they're planning in the Netherlands.
Is another one?
The tri-state.
I heard of that one.
What's this?
I think it's called the tri-state. It's why they're kicking all the farmers off the land so they can
move there today.
So they can. So they can take the land and make this tri-state thing. It's going to be a huge area.
And what is
around
it?
Amsterdam? It's one of these Agenda 2030,
like a green
smart
smart
area,
city.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you guys have looked into the Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan.
No, go on.
Yeah, that's almost that's I'm sure, isn't that's like, in essence, from what I can see, the architecture, some of the buildings that we've got there, some of the centers, that's like the New World Order sort of capital.
Oh, I think isn't it not Kazakhstan, the capital?
Oh, is it Kazakhstan? Sorry, yes. Apologies, I'm losing it today, guys.
Is it the one with like loads of really weird architecture, modern architecture?
Weird.
You think it shouldn't be there?
Yes, indeed, sir. Yes, that's the one. That is the one.
And what is it about Kazakhstan? Does it have like loads of ore and natural oil and gas or something?
No.
I
don't think it's historically like rich in minerals. I may be mistaken.
Right, okay.
I think there's some kind of historical to whoever, some kind of historical sort of reverence or like mystique about that place. Because I was thinking when I stumbled across the information, I was like, why there?
Yeah,
you don't really hear about.
It's like the elite bug out zone.
Is it?
Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere, and it's just set up for them. I'm not sure if I've got the right city here, Astana.
That's the capital, isn't it?
Yeah, but it changed recently.
Right.
So I don't know whether.
I mean, that architecture looks pretty weird, unless you're going to Benidorm and
Tesla coils.
Yeah.
Benito.
Have you not seen that terrifying skyscraper in Benidorm? Look, there's a pyramid there.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Haven't we got our own one of these?
This, what you're looking at, Phil?
I don't know if no.
Stockport. There's that pyramid in Stockport, the glass one.
Yeah.
Co-op.
Yeah.
Co-op. That's
We've
it.
got
yeah.
Milton Keynes, our dream city.
It is,
state.
isn't it? Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Wow.
Yeah,
Cuboid?
that's it. And there's a video tour of it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these are some pretty gnarly looking. Where's that pyramid one? It's there, isn't it?
Oh, they look ace.
Yeah.
Oh, it says capital reverts to Astana, ending stint as
Nur Sultan.
Mm.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, maybe this is where they're going to go.
Can you show where Kazakhstan is on the globe?
It's part of the stands, isn't it? Pakistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. Yeah. And the Baha faith has got plays a major role in that whole thing as well.
So it's Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan,
Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan.
Yeah, so it borders China, Russia.
So strategically, that's
Caspian Sea, is that?
It's just desert, though, isn't it?
Ex-Soviet, isn't it? So, yeah, maybe Putin will go there next. They've got all these fancy buildings he wants.
Yeah, thank you very much. I will take.
So you were hinting before we started that you were looking at something to do with, was it the mortgage crisis or the energy crisis?
Okay, yes. Well, both which are, I guess, intrinsically linked in regards to the degradation of humanity and mankind. Energy. Now, we've got the North Sea platform, which we've just done stupid stuff with, which I think from my research, 40% comes directly to us. We buy a lot of, who is it?
Norway.
Is it Sweden?
Norway.
No, is it Norway?
Yeah.
Norway. And have you seen what kind of record profits they've been posting in the last?
Are they not sat on like $300 trillion worth of oil and gas?
Yeah.
So, they're fine. Let's go to Norway. What are we doing here?
Yeah, man.
I know. It's cold though, isn't it? Isn't it a cold place?
Yeah. But it's got like
global warming's coming though.
Do you know, I think it's Finland has like city size bunkers. So that's the place to go. Finland, these Nordic states.
Borders Russia, Finland.
Exactly, yeah, that's why they've got them. So they'll be fine. An entire city can live underground because of the Cold War. But anyway,
it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. So we've got electricity, which is obviously a need. Now we've heard in the last 3 days of winter blackouts from the utilities. I've never heard of such a thing. I didn't grow up in the war. So guys, I'm not that old. It's like, war times, there was rationing and all that stuff. It seems like they're bringing this sort of wartime effort, rationing, do without, it's for the greater good kind of thing back. Thinking, okay, well, for the last 5+ years, you've been promoting this green energy and they're putting loads of turbines into the sea, destroying the wildlife and the habitat of the land-based turbines that they're putting down, which don't really generate the return on investment in regards to the money invested and what the energy that's going to be yielded off these things is just stupid. It makes no sense then that they're actually doing it. And then they shut down the coal mines. So we're no longer burning coal to produce energy. Where now there's a private company importing wood chips from Canada, and mainly Canada and British Columbia, I think to be exact, over to here. So just think of the carbon footprint on that alone.
Yeah,
thousands of tons.
We've gone from burning coal to burning gas to going back to wood, the original technology.
The original technology, which is actually, they say, is more green because it's renewable in the sense that you can grow more trees, and obviously coal you can't. But it takes hundreds of years for that to take place. Yeah. But then the CO2 that's produced by burning the wood is more than the coal.
Yeah.
Saying tidal's where it's at, surely.
You would think this small little island that would have hundreds of turbines just taking the piss out of all of this fucking, tide coming in.
But they don't know where to put them because the sea levels are going to rise like 20 feet a year.
Stacking.
So how is your vineyard going? Because we're supposed to be growing grapes and stuff at the moment, isn't it? We're supposed to have Mediterranean weather and.
I grew 3 small pumpkins. Does that count?
Yeah.
It's I guess. Yeah, 3 small pumpkins.
About this big, biggest one.
Yeah, man.
2 this big. I've grown about 15 tomatoes on 3 outdoor tomato plants.
That's nothing.
Hey,
we can do that.
Hey, when this winter bites and you've got to choose between eating or heating, I've got 3 small pumpkins, 15 tomatoes.
That'll do you for a week, sir.
And I've also got a batch of potatoes on the go. So I am sorted.
I think everybody, listening to us right now should seriously think, even if they live in a flat, for instance, just get a pot and grow some peppers, just something which is going to be useful for yourself. There's plenty of stuff that you can actually grow in a pot indoors, which will take the reliance of having to go to these Tesco's, Morrison's, Waitrose, etc. So it's important that we do it, and where it's come from. It's not coming from Dominican Republic, Israel, Belgium. Oh, it's you've done it yourself, kind of thing.
Yeah, I was eating my sugar snap peas from Lima, Peru today. And I always look where they've come from. Quite a lot comes from India, quite a lot from South America, and quite a lot from South Africa. A lot of apples from South Africa.
Wow. Del Monte.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, so it's a bit weird that we've got this green agenda, and most of my food comes from the other side of the world on an aeroplane.
All talk and no trousers.
Well, all talk, no shoes, no socks, and flipping no damn brains, because they're importing unripened produce stored under CO2 conditions to stunt their ripening procedures, and then pumped full of oxygen just before so they can start ripen. That's no good. That is no good.
Doesn't sound like healthy, like how things should grow.
No.
To me. Does it matter? Do you think it matters?
Yes.
Natural is best, like
100%. And you literally have to pay how much to get quality herbal tea bags. Have you seen how much it is now?
No. I'm not a herbal tea fan. No.
Oh, okay. You're still young, sir. You're still young.
Thank you, I know. You wise old man.
This is it. We're not wet, lads. All I drunk was Yorkshire tea. Yeah, it's a huge investment emotionally, financially, just to try and put the right things into yourself. And you think you might be doing good, go into your Lidl or Lidl, however it's pronounced, your Aldi's or wherever, and you're getting these vegetables and stuff at a pretty reasonable price. But the nutritional value in some of these things, the majority of these things, are nothing.
Well, there was definitely a taste difference between the sugar snap peas that come from the other side of the world versus the ones that came from Lancashire. That I bought from Morrison's. The ones from Lancashire are really nice. So I'm sure there's like an element of seasonality to it.
Yes.
And I suppose, back in the day, before supermarkets, it was the greengrocer, wasn't it, for fruit and veg, and it was seasonal, except for, I think bananas and tropical fruits, I suppose from the early 20th century
you
were imported.
Got him. Like, if you talk to our parents, like, they never had fucking bananas when they were young.
They'd be dried, innit?
Yeah. That's like you said, it all changed probably in the sort of 70s, maybe late 70s, where it used to be that everyone had a greengrocer, a butcher, and a baker, pretty much, within half a mile. And that's where people went shopping every day. You would go shopping every day. Whereas now we have a week. Most people do it weekly.
Yeah.
And you go to one store And you're spoilt for choice because you can get all these exotic products from the other side of the world at reason, because these are the huge chains. They can buy, they can screw the producers with the contracts because of the buying power that they have, and to keep the cost low for shipping something halfway across the world.
Yeah,
it's bonkers.
I mean, the shipping
really.
is going to cost more than the actual produce itself.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I think, try and buy local stuff if you can and eat seasonally. I think that's the best thing you can do, not just for your own health, but for environmental reasons as well. I mean, I'm not like a climate change guy. I think it's all horse shit, really, most of it.
Yeah.
But I still care about the environment and pollution and stuff.
Of course.
Whether these diesel boats, they're not good for the sea, all the shit that they pump out. Like, you're talking about growing wine. I mean, we had wine.
Growing wine?
We had vineyards in the south of England in the Roman period.
Indeed, sir.
But now the world's ending. Because it's fucking freezing. Because we have 2 days of really hot weather in the summer. So, yeah, a lot of it doesn't make sense to me. It's political and it's money-driven. I think most of it.
It really is, and it's like playing Monopoly of sorts. It's playing like Monopoly and Snakes and Ladders mixed into one. So you got to try and get around that board as quickly as possible without landing on the bloody, the snake. And the goalposts are just being, I just don't get it. It's almost like a whirlwind when you think back and logically go back through all the steps. All the little micro pushes and pushes and pushes and pushes to the big pushes, the big leaps and stuff. And it's like, and we've all sat back and just put up with this. Our parents clearly didn't see this stuff coming. Plastic bottles. I bring this up a lot, but we didn't even have plastic bottles unless it was detergents and stuff. Everything came in a glass bottle.
That's right.
Yeah, all your fizzy pop and stuff. Pop man.
Yeah, and you wonder, I mean, I've not been following the story, but there's been talk of these microplastics in the food supply in America particularly. It's just in everything you eat and drink, basically. Yes. This plastic stuff. Can't be good for you.
No.
And look at the rise of sickness. We were a sick population. They're harping on about the world clock and the birth rate and death rate. I could care less about whatever they want to put on that stupid clock. Okay, the age expectancy has increased due to modern technology, medical wise. Of course, we can see that. But people are sick as hell.
Yeah,
they're living longer, sick.
What's the point in living to 90 if the last 10 years are fucking hell?
This is the point.
You're just being kept alive.
Yeah.
In no state, I'm not condoning euthanasia. I don't believe in euthanasia. I think that's another bridge that would be a dangerous one.
In youth in Asia.
I don't support euthanasia or the euthanasia. But yeah, I mean, life expectancy's gone down recently in the West. But yeah, it's like I'd rather have 75 really good years,
exactly,
than 75 good years and then 15 really, really shit years. Personally, but I mean, maybe things will improve. Maybe they'll work out how to stop you dropping to bits. I mean, it just seems like humans have a natural lifespan, 70, isn't it? And after that,
slope.
After that, you start dropping to bits. It's like, as long as you're not in pain and you've got your marbles,
yes,
then great. But you see a lot of people who are really struggling once they get over that age. And I do a lot of work in old folks' homes and stuff, and it's like, fuck, this isn't a life.
But isn't it amazing to see the ones who are old and they physically, whether they physically look old or not, they're old. They're in their 80s or 90s, and they're with it. They're compass mentors. They can move around. They've got energy and stuff. And it's like, wow, this is why isn't the majority of the old people like that? It's like one out of 10 has that full spark.
Yeah.
Cognitive wise, physically wise, the rest of them are just shuffling around. They're just eking out an existence, as they say, which is not living.
I think it's only going to get worse, because I think sedentary lifestyle plays a part in it. If you're sat in an office desk most of your working life,
Yeah.
That probably doesn't help you in old age. And I know a lot of people who retired and then, I was going to say died. Some did.
Yeah, like out of boredom, almost like they stopped moving. So they
work sometimes gives people purpose.
That's the key.
To get up in the morning and do stuff. And
drive.
So there's a way to do it. A lot of people can retire and fill the time with interesting things and keep their mind working and that. But I think a lot of people get to a certain age and they just stop. The brain stops and they just sort of start losing it. I don't know. But yeah, like Brandon. Fucking hell, he needs to be fishing somewhere. Never mind being the president.
That's what you do. You have 75 good years, then become the president of the United States.
Can you have someone try to what's this Brandon thing again? Well, explain that to me. Please explain that.
There was a live news piece being recorded at, I think, a football match, American football match.
NFL.
I think it was college.
Was it college?
I think it was college, yeah. And the crowd were chanting, "Fuck Joe Biden. Fuck Joe Biden. Fuck Joe Biden." And the girl who was like the reporter was interviewing a player called Brandon. And so to cover up the fact that the crowd was saying, "Fuck Joe Biden," she said, "Oh, here's the crowd saying, 'Let's go Brandon.'" And here's Brandon, our player.
Thinking on her feet there.
Yeah, it would have been less of a story if just ignored it.
Yeah, it went nuclear, didn't it?
It went fucking nuclear, yeah. So he's Brandon now for all time.
For the next 6 months, you mean?
Well, it's Brandon, or it's creepy Uncle Joe, or it's the sniffy man,
sleepy
Joe, yeah, smelling little girls and stuff.
Yeah,
what a creep. He did a good one this week though. I don't know if you. Oh yeah, this is from a speech he made this week. You'll like this.
Let me start off with 2 words.
2 words.
Made in America.
So bad, isn't he?
Yeah.
Isn't that more than 2 words, guys?
Yeah, it's like fucking.
Let me start off with 2 words.
Dime bar.
No, made in America.
Made in America.
Yeah, it's time, isn't it?
Yeah, we got a good old saying. It's in Texas. It might be over in Tennessee. You know.
I can't wait.
On, son.
I can't wait for the next 4 years when he runs again.
Do you not think? Are we not saying that Trump's going to get back in? I think Trump will get back in. Don't you?
Trump will be in. Johnson will be in on our side.
Yeah. I mean, it's just as bad here, isn't it? Liz Truss. I mean, we just got rid of Bojo the clown.
I mean, the frying pan into the fire, isn't it?
Just like she's awful.
What is she gonna do? Well, what do you reckon? What do you reckon her game's gonna be? Is it gonna be soft touch? Is it gonna be hard touch, hard ball even? Like,
I don't know. You just made me think. Then it just in terms of generally not so much in her approach, but I suppose like going back last 10, 15 years, maybe 20 years, used to me was like Italy or Greece would have a new sort of president or prime minister every sort of like 6 months, couple of years or something like that. And that's just what we've gone through over the last... When did Thingy leave? Cameron? 2016, was it? 2017? So in 5 years, we've had 3 prime ministers. It's just unheard of, isn't it? Unless, like, has that ever happened before? For not to stay in for a term?
No, it's unusual.
I just want boring politics. Can I not have some boring politics for 20 years?
I mean, I wouldn't... Well, normally I wouldn't sort of vote for Tories, but I would vote over for gladly have Cameron back over these lot. At least he was like, he could do a speech and come across as stately. These people are just fucking... Yeah, these people are just joke. I mean, I was pining for Theresa May the other week.
I felt so sorry for that poor old lady.
Yeah. But this is the thing, I think she had some scruples. And these last two have just like, it's just, how have they got to be into that kind of office? It's beyond me.
There's no one else.
That's what I mean.
That's the thing. Yeah. Where are the people who should be running the country?
Well,
what about Hague? Is he still about? Is it William Hague or whatever his name is?
I think it's a Lord. I think he's in the Lords now.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it boggles the mind that out of a country of 70 million people, this shower of shite is the best we can do.
It's bizarre, isn't it?
Well, people see what politics is and what being an MP looks like on the telly, and everyone's like, "Fuck that! I'm not going to run for council or parliament or whatever." No one wants to go for it, so you just end up in this cycle of shit.
But this is new. This is fairly modern. I think if you go back a few decades, you can at least point to people who were at least competent, and you know, there will have been a few who were sort of principled and less Machiavellian in the way they play the politics game. We used to have ministers resigning because they didn't agree with what, you know, the direction of travel. They would resign on principle. That seems like that thing is those days are gone.
Truly.
Savage did it resign, didn't he? From the
Savage, yeah, but yeah, he did.
But it was. Do you think it was a play?
It was a marketing, wasn't it?
Maybe.
I just don't trust any of them.
None of them. None. It needs to be totally dismantled and rebuilt. The system, it was designed to do what it's doing, and that's to allow the poor to get even poorer. You know, it's just, in essence, it's not a middle class. It's just rich and poor. That's it. People can have the illusion, I'm middle class, you know. We're both working and stuff, you know, blah, blah, blah. We both got 4 credit cards each, max the hell out. You know, we got 2 lease cars on the drive. We can just about put food on the table. But yeah, we're middle class. You're poor, just like everybody else.
In comparison to the people who actually run things.
Exactly.
I think we were talking about this probably on Games Night a little bit, about sort of a different mentality around debt, especially. Robin Cook.
Resigned on principle.
Yeah, so... but yeah, I seem to, there's been this kind of shift away or towards, I suppose, you know, you get a car and you pay for it on, is it called PCP, where it's like you don't own it?
Horse tranquilizers.
Is it PCP?
I feel good.
No, yeah, you are.
PCP. Oh.
Is it PCP?
It's
HP.
No. You've got HP. You've got PCP as well.
See, I know.
And
Mark.
the PCP is the worst one that you can do.
See,
I advise
there we go.
nobody to.
Yeah, I've heard bad things about PCP.
But this is the other thing. Is like, and then like, I think it's come from mobile phones. In that, initially you bought a mobile phone. And you just paid for it, didn't you? And it was yours, and you got like pay as you go.
Top up.
Yeah. And then it went towards this, you can this iPhone's come out. You don't have to buy it. What you can do is you get a contract which pays for your minutes and the handset. So then every time you're constantly paying for something. So it's 2 years, isn't it, normally? I remember initially when it came out, it was that you could get it a year or 2 years.
12 months, yeah.
Yeah, and now it's normally like 48 months, isn't it? Wow. Not 48, sorry, 24.
36 on Vodafone now.
And some of them 36, yeah.
So you get that, and then you're constantly paying out like 40, 50 quid a month for that. And then that seemed to move, in my eyes anyway. It became normal to do that. And then it became normal to, right, well, we can do this with cars. And I read this, this was a couple of years ago, and I read something around... there's something like 50 or 60 billion pounds worth of debt owed on cars because you never pay for them because they're always on PCP or HP. And this is the thing I can't ever get my head around was like, I remember been to like the garage to go and buy a car or whatever, my wife, and they were sort of like trying to do this, we're weighing up between PCP, and you've got to like, you put a deposit down on the car, you pay all of this money, and when you get to the end, you got to give him the car back. Or you pay a balloon payment. That pays the rest of the whatever depreciation on it. And he was trying to convince us that was better than like buying a car, paying it, or paying it off on a loan, and then having an asset at the end of it, even if it was depreciated across the term of the loan. Mm-hmm. It just made no sense what he was saying to me.
It's because they're so expensive,
Yeah.
No, this the sense, Matt. It's commission.
Well, yeah, there's that, isn't there? But I suppose the difference was, the only thing I could think was that we were buying, or my wife was buying, a 3-year-old car, and the only difference was that you would get a brand new car, but obviously you would have to pay the brand new price. So it's like half the price to get a 3-year-old car, but it's perfectly fine.
I've said it before. Like when I was a kid, I never knew anyone who had a brand new car.
Nah.
That was for well-off people.
Yeah.
Whereas now anyone can get a brand new car for £300 a month.
And you're still not well off.
Well, no, you're not. You're just putting yourself in debt. We're so leveraged. This is what scares me, and people just don't realise how leveraged they are, whether it's through rent. Rent's... You're not leveraged on rent because you've got to pay it every month, but you need somewhere to live. So that's a cost you have. If you don't own your own property outright, then you've got rent or a mortgage, and you've got your car payments, and your phones, and your insurance premiums for this, that, and the other. Insurance. Absolutely everything. Yeah, freaking hay fever insurance. Fuck me. And mobile phones. We have to have everything. We have to have the latest shit. We have to keep up with the Joneses. We're that bothered about what other people think about us that we're willing to spend money that we don't have. If you walked into an Apple shop and they said, here's your phone, give me 1,500 quid. No, fuck, I'm not paying 1,500 quid for a fucking phone. Yeah. And I can get one for 30 quid that makes calls. But people want the latest shit. And it's great while you're in a job, but if things go south and you lose your job, you are fucked.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do for yourself is get out of debt.
Yeah.
As far as security goes.
Agreed.
No, but what about the little apples? So I want to show my little Apple symbol when I've got my phone to my ear. I gotta be cool.
Fuck.
You gotta have the Apple products. Come on, you gotta have your little MacBook Air Pro.
Where's this? Where has this come from? Because I'm sure we weren't this materialistic.
No.
In the recent past.
I think it's creeping, isn't it? It's got more and more.
Are people just missing something in their fucking lives that they have to cling onto this materialism?
100%. 100%. It's filling of a spiritual and an emotional void where the only gratification and the dopamine levels to go off is I've got recognition because I've got someone else's brand on me. I have this brand, and this brand shows other people that I am this type of person.
Brand is such a great word. Because I immediately hear the other meaning of that word when you say I've got this brand on me.
Exactly.
You're a slave. Mm-hmm. You're a slave. You're enslaved by your own mind because you can't survive without this dopamine hit, and you're also a debt slave. 2 for 1.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing, actually,
what are you looking around at, Ben?
I'm just looking at all this shit we're surrounded by.
What?
All this material goods.
What, these heirlooms that are...
Yeah,
what?
Absolutely.
I tell you what, nothing. I don't think anything in this room is new.
Paid for.
It's definitely paid for, and I think everything's pretty much second hand, apart from the PlayStation.
The other thing as well I've noticed is probably the increase in like designer wear. Something just popped into my head where I was walking to my son's nursery the other day, and I walked past a young woman. And I just glanced down because she had...
You got any leeches for this?
That didn't work.
I couldn't resist.
And I didn't say that. But she had, those... I apologise to anyone who wears these, but these awful chunky trainers. Have you ever noticed this? It's like a fashion.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe them. Like huge
I know what you're
soles.
talking about, like space boots kind of thing.
Yeah. But they were like trainers. But it was, I can't pronounce the name. I think it's French. Balenciaga.
Oh, but Balenciago,
something like that.
Yes.
But they would have cost, if they're real, because I might know someone who's got some fake ones from China. If they were real, they would have cost like hundreds of pounds.
Where can I buy these from, Matt?
Yeah.
You wouldn't like them, right? I'm telling you, you would not like them.
I see, loads of people wearing like Gucci or Versace or Givenchy or all these kinds of names, and that when I was growing up, it was like Kickers,
Pony,
Yeah.
Gola,
Elise,
Diodora, but it wasn't like haute couture, was it? These like fashion houses weren't on the high street. People weren't. Do you not think?
No, and they all come from the same factory.
Well,
And you have this situation. It was shown up in the pandemic, at the start of the pandemic, actually, where there was this outbreak in northern Italy, and that seemed to be maybe tied to the fact that northern Italy is the centre for the Italian fashion industry, where they have the factories populated by the Chinese that make all these cheap garments and sell them for hundreds of pounds. But we didn't really talk about it.
No,
because
But again, it's like another thing where there's like, I don't know whether it's us being aspirational or these kind of companies being sort of
what's happened,
widening their sort of market.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. They've widened the market because historically their market was, we're making, let's say, 500 million every year selling to rich Europeans, let's say. If we want to be trillionaires, I've noticed there's a subsection of these crazy undesirables coming into our stores and trying to kind of fit into us. So let's make a sub-brand and a subcategory. Let's plaster our logos everywhere and make it as garish as possible, and they will buy it. Because the sophisticated gentleman and lady are going to see all of that outlandish gear and say, there's no way on earth I'm having any of that on me. I wear Gucci because, for instance, I like the shopping experience when I go to the Gucci store. I like the fit of the clothes. And if there's a discreet Gucci sign somewhere, For the other guys who don't have the money, they want everybody to know that they're wearing Gucci, Louis, and Balenciago, and all the rest of the crazy stuff.
But why? Why do people do that?
Yeah, why do they feel the need?
The need, yeah.
That's insecurity. Insecurity. Think about it. The majority of the people who do that don't come from wealthy backgrounds. What they see and what they grow up in isn't the best environments, and they see on television and entertainment and in the music lavish lifestyles and stuff. So they just like everyone wants nice things, and what's promoted to them is these nice things. So I want these nice things, not necessarily, as I say, the less discreet stuff. They want the garish stuff because they've spent all that money, they've done all the kind of things that they've needed to do to obtain said fiat currency to then make that exchange with the promissory notes.
It's like, what's the point in spending all this money on this Gucci thing if people can't see it? It's mad. That's the mentality, isn't it? What's the point in spending all that money if people will walk past me and not even notice? It's bonkers. It's fucking insane.
I mean, we'll be wearing grey smocks soon anyway, won't we?
Well, yeah, we've totally derailed. No one was going to tell us about his theory.
I thought he did.
Did it? Did you? And I missed it. About the energy stuff.
The energy. Oh, yeah, we went through that, I'm sure. Did I not put the capstone onto it?
I don't know.
I did.
All right, maybe I blacked out. Fucking hell.
It happens, man. Look at the start. I was giving bad talk to Debbie McGee and all that kind of stuff.
No.
So, yeah,
talk about transgently speaking. We've been all over the shop tonight, haven't we?
Yeah. It's been a solid hour though.
It has actually. We were at an hour and 5 minutes.
Mm.
Yeah. Where does the time
Enjoyable
go?
as always.
Yeah.
Listen, once we start to talking, 60 minutes disappear with a click of a finger and a thumb.
Yeah, man, that's I can tell it's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, shall we sign off for now then, Noble?
Indeed, gentlemen. A wonderful night, another wonderful night. Fun laughter, a little bit of edutainment. Trustfully, the listeners have enjoyed.
Yeah. And the links will be in the show notes. If you're listening on our side, eavesdroppers, scroll down to the show notes. You can find the CR4 Network links there for the social media and the podcast and whatnot. It's been a pleasure, as always.
Yeah, till next time,
Indeed.
good sir.
Yes. Be safe, be diligent, and most definitely live in the moment and plan for the future.
Yeah.
Great advice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right. Stay on the line, Noble. We'll be
No
back
problem
in 10-15 minutes to do some housekeeping and some wacky news.
For reals.
Loads of fun stuff tonight.
Wow.
It's been one of them weeks. Right, see you on the other side.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.